Once again, the Halloween season is upon us. And you know what that means. I want to play a game. Yes, once again, we have dipped our toe into the Saw universe. And this time, it's pretty self-contained and definitely early in the timeline. In this installment, we see Jigsaw, aka John Kramer, aka the immortal Tobin Bell, trying to cure his ailments, the brain cancer, which started out as butt cancer, seriously, with a radical treatment that he has to fly to Mexico for. Unfortunately, it was a scam. And unfortunately for the scammers, they scammed Jigsaw. Big mistake. So now, the scammers, which include a prostitute, a druggie, or dealer, a cabbie posing as a doctor, and a couple other folks, are now forced to play Jigsaw's game and hope they have the will to survive. Spoiler alert, there will be blood. And a bit of bone marrow, actually. Once again, Tobin Bell is amazing as Jigsaw. He hasn't lost a step. And the fact that he's getting on in years lends to his character's ongoing frailty. Because at first he didn't look too terrible, and even when he was on a hospital bed in the, I think, third or fourth installment, he still looked pretty healthy for some reason. But now he really looks like a cancer patient, when in reality the actor is just kind of old. Shawnee Smith, once again, plays Amanda, Jigsaw's one true disciple. Still thinking that some people don't deserve redemption. We see the seeds of her character's development in later flicks, planted here. And I think some of her more emotional scenes hints at the character's checkered past with her teacher. I'm not going to spoil it for those of you who don't know her story, but yeah, I can see bits of guilt in her performance and bits of meanness. Both characters got the chance to really work well off of each other when they used to just be separate or very rarely interact. And we see how Jigsaw was able to convince her that what they were doing was good work. As for the victims, yeah, they seem angelic at first, but then we see them as they really are, and they are really despicable. I mean, they range from lost souls who don't want help to straight up supervillains. Their ultimate fates, some you're kind of rooting for, others, they really have it coming. What they do by the end is you're cheering that they end up the way they do. There is one fake out scene that is shot really well, so I'm glad they left it in there. Though it's a pity that they couldn't have it be a real scene. Instead, they just had it be a vision in Jigsaw's head. I won't say what, but you'll know when you see it. Keep your eyeballs peeled. Hint, hint. The traps are grimy and bloody and disgusting and awesome. The gore effects are intense and realistic. And the sound effects that accompany the gore effects, they just make it feel so real. Like what the lady who starred in the original Razor movie, H. Razor, said about Marathon Man. It's palpable. You can feel it. You definitely feel the scenes in this movie. Yeah. The plot overall, it does drag in places a bit, but we do sort of get to see into each character as the film progresses. So there's that. The location itself is a character in its own right. It goes from a place of healing to a place of violent, bloody rebirth. And it's hard to describe. It is a torture chamber, but it's also a birthing room, almost. And really, it just feels like you're in another dimension. There are several side characters who we meet along with our main cast, and some of them actually get the chance to shine. And really overall the cast did well. The effects are amazing. The setting is classic Saw. The music, it's so good to hear. A bit of heavy metal mixed with the classic Jigsaw theme, better known as Hello Zep. Really, the creators of this franchise have breathed new life into a franchise that has kind of run its course. And while the story itself is pretty much finished, I feel like there could be a couple more chapters worth checking out. Like how, at the end of one of the installments, there seemed to be new potential. And while Tobin Bell might consider this his last Saw film, I know of several other actors who could maybe take up the mantle. It was good to see certain characters come back, and it was good to see new characters play the game. If you've been with the Saw franchise for as long as I have, then you should give this one a watch, because the last couple of installments, while not terrible, just lacked a certain something. And that certain something was saved for this installment. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, scam artists are awful, but you never know when the scammed is able to turn the tide and make the scammers pay. Also, never take the law into your own hands unless you're a super genius who can get away with it. And remember, live or don't live. Make your choice. Game on.